PCR for 35% less. And we're really talking about how to do it from a price perspective. And about this time of year, a lot of us are taking a look at our budgets. Maybe we're not on track if you're on the standard fiscal year, or perhaps state and local governments, your budgets are resetting in about a month. If you're in higher education, part of the university system, your budgets are resetting in about a month. And although this may not seem like the most glamorous of approaches, our budgets are so important in the laboratory space, and we know that here at Thomas Scientific. And so today we want to present some really awesome solutions that we have that can really help keep you where you need to be from a financial perspective. So with that said, my name is Vanessa Vance. I have been part of the Thomas family for 10 years. I came from the controlled environment space in clean room manufacturing, and now I work over on the category side to help make sure that from your perspective, I'm watching the global supply chain, connecting with suppliers, and bringing in product solutions for you every day in your business. And I'm joined today by Lena, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Lena Peterson, and I am the Thomas Scientific Account Manager for the Pacific Northwest out of Seattle here. And I am managed accounts in 4 different states, and I take a consultative selling approach to work with my customers to get them what they need, good quality, good value. So what we're talking about here today has to do with the PCR workflow and the Thomas Brands consumable, which we're talking, the 3 main points is budgets are important. We want you to know that you have options, and quality does not need to be sacrificed.
Awesome. Thank you, Lena. Let me switch this over here. All right, you feel it, I feel it. You don't have to come to a webinar on a Friday to feel inflation and the squeeze. That's what we're here to talk about today. So what's going on? What we're seeing now is, and has been traditionally, the same top 2 expenses in the laboratory space. So this is labor and supplies. But as there's been a shortage of skilled labor shortages happening, we are now seeing a lot of laboratory executives are saying that their biggest priority is investing in technology to make up for the lack of labor that's available in the workforce. And I know that there's, from all of our conversations with you, we know that this is something that you're feeling also in the lab. So how do we use our spending to make up for labor shortages, or work faster, or solve for time lost in the lab with products or waiting? And that's kind of this blend of these 2 areas with labor and supplies. And then in a standard supply spend in a laboratory space, 60% of it's going to come into the plastics, the glass, personal protection, chemicals, and that leaves the other 40% for equipment, instrumentation, and furniture. And so what we wanted to talk about today is to let you know that we understand this, and exactly what Lena was saying, you don't have to sacrifice quality to be able to make some areas of improvement into your budget. And what we're going to focus specifically on today is the Thomas brand portfolio. And what's unique about the Thomas brand portfolio is kind of just give you a little bit of Thomas Scientific history. So Thomas Scientific is 124 years old. And what's really cool about it in the last 5 or 6 years is that Thomas went ahead and started combining some of the very best regional companies in the lab supply space. These are people like Denville, if you're in the Midwest or you're up in the Northeast that you're familiar with, or maybe it was American Clean Stat on the West Coast, or E&K, Phoenix, NCI. These are these incredible local businesses that all became a part of Thomas Scientific now. And what's neat about our own Thomas brands is that they came from these original companies. And what I'm so proud about in this portfolio is that when Denville was out in the field, or American Clean Stat was out in the field, and we were working with you, we were developing custom products for your specific solution. And our own private label brands became your private label brands. And some of them are still so well loved, we didn't really want to change anything. We wanted to continue to deliver what it is that you need in the lab and what you've loved for a very long time. And also then still providing you that really close-knit experience, that bespoke time with a distributor partner like ourselves. And one of the ways that Thomas Scientific does that currently is we have a USA-based customer service department. We stay local to you. But specific to this portfolio, there's over 30 trademarks. We were saying that you have a lot of options. You have a lot of options into that custom product development, or we have over 10,000 product solutions that exist. And then, of course, in the broader scheme of Thomas, we have over 1 million product solutions. So if what we're talking about today isn't necessarily lining up with your needs, we have lots of other options for you. But when you're looking to be saving money, what you should know about Thomas Brands is that it was built by scientists and researchers, and it was built for scientists and researchers. And in all the time that we've been around, there's 3 things that we see as the choices that you make are based on 3 things, time and time again. It's got to be quality. You have to have great quality in the product. We need it available. Certainly, we've learned some lessons about availability and multiple sourcing options in the last several years. And it's got to have a lot of value to it, that your budgets are limited, your grants are limited, and we got to make sure that we're packing that punch for you. So the opportunities that we're going to talk about today are a great place for you to start if you have not started looking into these kinds of products to fit into your budget. And then to give you kind of an overview, this wild party over here, some of them you may be more familiar with: LabForce, ChemForce, SafeForce. These are all powered by Thomas Scientific. So anytime you see powered by Thomas Scientific, you're going to know that these are some of the best value options for you out there in the market that still provide quality with great availability. But we have lots and lots of different brands in this. We'll talk about a couple of specific solutions today. These are some of the things that you'll see in our literature on our website. And of course, if you want to know how to put your best foot forward, certainly connecting with your Thomas Scientific rep to solve for all the needs that you may have.
Our Thomas Brands PCR solutions is what we are calling this and somewhat focusing on, but we are focusing on the consumables in that process, in the PCR process, but the Thomas Brands consumables. Now, we understand that evaluating new products in the lab can be challenging and time-consuming, so we're going to focus on the solutions that are a little easier and more approachable to evaluate. We can support PCR, qPCR, real-time PCR. We're focusing on Thomas Brands, like I said, but we do sell everything. The collection swabs, the PCR kits, the DNA, RNA kits, all the kits. So you can approach your Thomas Scientific rep outside of this if you'd like to talk about any kits to get you kicked off with that. And, the collection swabs, all that. We won't go into collection today because, like I said, we want to focus on what's easy and approachable, changes that you can consider in your lab. Typically, once you've determined your kit, you know what you like. So, we're there for that. But your whole process of collection, extraction, amplification, detection, the PCR. First thing to tell you about that's a real easy thing to evaluate in a lab would be tips. We have our Sharp Elite and Sharp Classic tips. They came to us from Denville Scientific in 2019. We inherited them. Quality brand, our best-selling tip, universal fit, and they come in every configuration you could want: bulk, wrap, sterile, non-sterile. We also have now the LTS compatible tips, which opens up a new cost-saving opportunity for your lab, because these are the Rainin tips, the tips that fit the Rainin light touch pipetters. They also come in all the configurations that you would normally expect: sterile, non-sterile, racked, reloads. So
and what we
great...
love about this is it's a new savings opportunity. So the ability to put anything but a Rainin branded tip on a Rainin pipetter, that's only been around for about a year or so. So being able to take a look at something like that, and you love the pipetter, being able to take a look at those tips, it's not having to buy a new pipetter. It's being able to use what you already have, that nice touch that you like from Rainin.
Thank you. Yeah. So, and we're very sample friendly with this. So if you're curious about trying these out, if you would like to see these in your lab, please reach out to your Thomas Scientific rep and we'll be glad to get you some. So this is a good start. We also have the Thomas Brands pipetters as well. And most of the reps out in the field, probably your rep has a demo unit of that as well. That's a great place to start. And then the Posy Lock and Posy Click tubes. These are the microcentrifuge tubes that is used a lot in PCR as well as other processes in the lab. These are great, very high quality. You click it, they're closed. You don't want to leak or lose any sample, and you won't with these tubes. It is a great product, very clear, good graduations on it, and it'll save you money compared to the Eppendorf tips. And we've proven that. So give us a shot for that. Definitely sample friendly with this as well. But these Posy Lock and Posy Click tubes are a definite cost savings in the lab. And we've proven that time and time again. We also have the PCR strips, tube strips, rigid strips, split strips, hinge strips, whatever kind you need.
And what these products are all, we're talking about them today, also not necessarily because it's the best value option for you, but since these were designed by scientists in the lab, hand in hand with you, it's really in that nice rest and relief that you get that when it clicks, you know the sample is going to be safe through the entire process. So when it comes to PCR, compatibility is key. And this is to kind of let you know, we can go a lot of different ways about this, but understanding that if you already have your machines that you like to work on and you want to know, hey, what could I put in here to start to save some money? And when you talk about the plastics that go into PCR, it's sort of the way that you drink your coffee. Maybe you're on the West Coast, you're a Starbucks person. Maybe you're on the East Coast and it's all about Dunkin' Donuts. Maybe you're like Lena and you're doing Dutch Brothers up in Seattle. Just kind of depends. But your coffee might be specific, but maybe you don't care so much about the kind of cup that you're drinking out of. And when it comes to PCR plastics, that's sort of what that looks like as far as an approachable switch for you to consider. So if you've already got machines and they're in good working order and you're just looking to save some money on the consumable piece, we do have this PCR selector tool. That's that website that's listed down there in the right-hand corner. And you can take a look at plates and tubes, drop in the kind of, that's just a screenshot of that website there. Drop in what kind of machines that you're using, what you're looking to do, and it'll direct you to the Thomas part number that you can reach out to your rep. You want to sample it, give it a try. And then, of course, if you are looking for any of the instrumentation or equipment, there are wonderful products in the LabForce catalog that are available to you. And if you are one of the lucky people that has leftover budget money in academia, or you've got this next month to kind of figure out what to do with it, this could be a really good place to spend some of that. Or if you need to wait and make the replacement later, maybe after the budget's reset, it's a good time to sort of pick out what you're looking for so that you can make that possible when the funds do come through.
We also have, and you can find this in that PCR conversion tool there too. We also have the Rigiframe plates and plate seals, perfect for PCR and qPCR and automation. These can help you avoid the warped plates that you can get in when your plates heat up. They can be barcoded, many different colors. We have a full line of the AmpliFit PCR plates that are much more flexible in material and a lower cost solution. And once again, you can find them in that conversion tool, and your sales reps can help you with that as well. So with PCR plates, every kind out there that you could need, just give us a try. We also have white plates, which help with amplification, as you may know. Yeah, just talk to your sales rep. I know I keep saying that, but really there's a lot we can see. If we can see your lab and talk with you, then we can get you the right product. When it comes down to storage, there are so many options for storage that Thomas Scientific can help you with. Everything from 2D bar-coded tubes, plates, but today I just want to talk to you about our CryoFrost line. And this is also a new savings opportunity, and it's a lab favorite. It's a standard. It's a drop-in replacement for the NUNC tubes. It's optimal for a vapor phase and can go to -200 degrees Celsius. We have different bases for them, the round, self-sanding, different caps, cap colors. It's a great tube to freeze.
Thank you. Okay, the Stretchies glove. I love this glove. This again came from a regional company that became a part of Thomas Scientific. And then we made some improvements to the Stretchies glove. So when you put it on, as typical, people try the gloves, it does stretch really, really far. Just a reminder, you don't normally wear it that way. But we have lots of samples of these for you to try out. I recommend putting them on your hand, one Stretchies on one, your normal glove on the other. Let the nitrile heat up for a minute and let it form to your hand. I think you're going to be really pleased with it. And some of the three amazing things, especially when you see the price point on these gloves, is that they're accelerator free. So this means that the gloves have been washed an additional time, and this takes all those detergents off. So if you have people and they're getting skin allergies in the lab, this is typically what the cause of that is. So these are accelerator free. They are also chemotherapy drug resistant, and the testing for that is available on our website on the data sheet to take a look at. They do have resistance to fentanyl, so we understand that in different situations you're dealing with different people and different dangerous substances, and they're really stretchy and very soft. So the Stretchies are an old favorite that we are very happy to continue on here at Thomas Scientific. So what do you get with these Thomas brands that we talked about? Want to make sure that you understand, we're not just hawking things off the back of a truck here. These are really value-driven product solutions. And we have a quality department at Thomas Scientific. We are an ISO certified company, and we manufacture with ISO certified manufacturing facilities. We offer lot traceability on all of these products when appropriate. You've got an exclusive product offering. One of my favorite things to do is to get into customization options. And that's something that's really easy for us to approach in a conversation with you. Additionally, reserved inventory options for you. When you partner up with Thomas and Thomas Brands, we want to make sure that you're getting taken care of and that you feel like you're a really big part of our business, because you are, and make sure that you have what you need. And then we do have US-based technical support on these products, as well as a wealth of resources in our organization that are happy to help at any time with any of the needs that you might have. And that technical support also, we have workflow specialists in automation. So those Rigi plates, anything that you want to do barcoding wise, we have that available to you. We do have 3 PhD scientists on staff, on call, on science, anything that you need to talk about specific to your very technical workflow. They would be so happy to get in there and geek out over your science with you and find solutions. And what's really neat about using people like this is that they talk to lots of labs every day. So a lot of times your problems are not unique. They're in other laboratories. And when you get to talk to other scientists, you can find really incredible solutions. So we can connect you after this to get you in contact with those consultative helpers that we have here at Thomas. So where do we go from here? Time to switch and save, if you ask me. So what you're going to want to do, take a look. What are your cost savings opportunities? Where are these pain points that you're really having? And what does Thomas have that could really bring value to you? And there are a couple pieces of literature. I'll switch my screen over to our Thomas Center so you can see where those are. That's a good place to start. And then if you're looking for quotes, if you want to sample the product, you can reach out to your Thomas Scientific representative. If you're already an active customer, you do have already a special discount loaded to your account. So pricing could be already available to you, or certainly you're welcome to check with your representative. And if you don't have a Thomas Scientific representative or you don't know who it is, you're welcome to give us a call or chat with us online, and we can connect you and get some solutions together for you. So over in the Thomas Center, where you joined us here, as you can see, there's a lot of other things that are happening. Most of these expert series are designed to be a true resource for you while you're working in the laboratory space. Today, we did want to take the opportunity, with a lot of budgets resetting halfway through the year, to make sure that we acknowledge some pain points that we hear about often and what you can do to solve for that. But you can The preferable method would be request samples through your Thomas Scientific rep, but we do have this so you can sort of see what samples might look like. It's an intake form listed right there on that kiosk for you. And then we do have here the equipment catalog. And then down here is the new, the supplies, laboratory supplies and consumables, which captures the products that we talked about today. And then some very special Thomas Scientific offers that can help to keep you within your budget range. Can we help with any questions today? All right. Where do you recommend I start to find the biggest impact in my consumables? Awesome, because this can be a little daunting and we understand sometimes that switching is hard. Actually, we didn't talk much about this,
sorry.
but chemicals is an incredible place to save a lot of money. Chemicals have to be made up of the chemicals that are listed. So when it comes to what this is going to look like, they're pretty much all the same. They have to get manufactured for the most part in the United States because shipping is so problematic. So it's a really good area to take a look at. And chemicals are consumables in that you can only use them one time, right? So that's a really good place to start. And then my next recommendation would be to take a look at your gloves. Gloves are just used and tossed out over and over again. They're also one of the more sensitive materials because you're wearing them on your hand for 8 hours a day. So the stretchies could be a good solution there for you. Next question. I'm interested in discussing pre-assembled custom colors for the cryo vials. Nice, the CryoFrost. Who do I contact? Rhonda, if you don't have a Thomas Scientific rep, we'll certainly contact your email after this call to get you in touch. But it's interesting that you say that. We have another customer who maybe 6 or 8 months ago wanted custom colored caps for the cryo vials, and we do those special for them in the way that they need them done. So yeah, that's absolutely something we can accomplish. Are all the products available to sample? We have inventory of samples on the most popular, highest moving SKUs here at Thomas. We'll figure out how to get you what you need though. So certainly reach out, let us know, and get your hands on it. That's just the best way to figure out if it's going to work or not for what you need it to do. And we're happy to send them over, and they are free of charge. Are there any recycling options for the Stretchies gloves? Yes, there are. So we are partnered up with a company called TerraCycle, and you may have heard of them before in some other, maybe out there in other areas or different trade shows, but we can recycle out the Stretchies gloves, but they also have opportunities to recycle plastics that haven't been in contact with hazardous materials, so plates, tips, etc. That's absolutely an opportunity we can help you save. And what's great about that is that it does provide back the report. If you have those goals that you're trying to hit in your company, it does provide the reporting on what you've been, the impact that you've had for the environment. All right, any last comments, Lena?
I guess my last comment would be, thank you for your time today and for being here. And do look to Thomas Scientific as a resource. We are a very good resource to have for anything you're looking for in your lab or amongst other scientists. One thing I love to do in Seattle that has been a little successful is putting other people together. And someone hears about something, a product you provided, and they talk to another scientist. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here today, and we're very happy to help you and support any of the budgeting needs that you have and try out some of our Thomas brands. Take care. Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.